America all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for the Dan Bongino Show.
You know, when I was actively involved in politics in Maryland, I'm walking out of an event one time, right? And this very, very smart older gentleman who'd been involved in Maryland politics on the Republican side for probably close to 30 years. He says to me, I'm going to tell you something. I watched your speech inside. He said, I liked it. It's very good. He said, but one of the things I'd encourage you to do is avoid assertions and ask more questions. I said, really? Why is that? He said, because when you ask a human being a question, no matter what, even if they hate you, the human mind can't stop trying to answer the question, no matter what. It just engages the mind better than an assertion. He says, if you're talking to a voter who may lean a little liberal, but may be open to voting for you, he's like, if you just make an assertion for them, hey, big government sucks, they go, I don't want to hear it, earmuffs. But if you ask them a question, tell me how big government's worked for you, it'll engage them. And I thought, that's genius. And I don't know, how long would they run for office? 15 years ago or something like that? I've practiced that ever since. So I put in the headline today, and then on social media, MAGA Civil War or liberal media BS. And I'll answer it for you right now. It is obviously liberal media BS. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no MAGA Civil War going on. I don't know how many polls, whether they're CNN, Harry Enton polls, Real Clear Politics. I have a poll coming up. I'll show you a bunch of them. Receipts matter. There is no civil war in the MAGA movement. I'm not telling you that there's not disagreements about significant policies in the MAGA movement, from tariffs to Iran to our dealings with Israel. Of course there are disagreements. But you suggesting there's some kind of massive civil war getting ready to fracture us like San Andreas Fault, you have to back that up. You made the assertion, not me. If you're telling me there's a civil war, back it up. Show me some substance. The answer is you can't. Because the polling data, when you ask real people in the real world, shows overwhelming majorities of Republicans support this president's policies. I'm just telling you, bro, those are the facts. You make the assertion, back it up. I've got a bunch of stuff for you today. And please don't fall for this, because the liberal media is fertilizing this ground of the pseudo-MAGA civil war, because there's nothing they want more. They want a civil war. They want us in the cannibalism theory. You know cannibalism theory. I talk about it all the time. How the left, whenever they win elections, because there's power in canceling people, they start to cancel themselves on the left side. Don't do that. Don't pay back the favor by doing that here. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, with Dan Kane this morning, gave an amazing briefing. We'll play a little bit of that. I've got a big show for you today. Folks, today's show brought to you by Brickhouse Nutrition, brickhousenutrition.com. Go pick up Lean today. If you have a few pounds to lose, I did. I used the product LEAN, brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Check it out. Today's show also brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Every time I say Patriot Mobile, I say it so dramatically. Hey, it's a critical moment for our country. The opposition's growing really aggressive. They're not apologizing at all, and the fight is now reaching into everyday decisions we make. Patriot Mobile has been standing on the front lines with us, fighting for freedom for more than 12 years. An amazing company, incredible company. They don't just deliver top-tier wireless service. They're activists like me who truly care about the country, and they're not shy about it at all. Support companies that support us and our values. Patriot Mobile is one of them. They give you prioritized premium access on all three major networks, giving you the same or better coverage than the main carriers. Can't beat that. It means fast speeds and dependable nationwide coverage backed by 100% U.S.-based customer support. They also offer unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and more. With simple, seamless activation, you can switch in minutes. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. And here's the difference. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you'll support a company who provides a powerful stream of giving to help the Christian conservative movement. Yes, good for you, Patriot Mobile. Take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT and use promo code Dan for a free month of service. Don't wait. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. Fellas, got Justin, man, in the con today. Guy looking over his shoulder like this, intently watching, observing, watching. judging. He's got his Don't Get Dead shirt on, the judging, watching. Okay, so Secretary of War Pete Hegseth gave a briefing this morning, and I want you to pay very close attention. I have two short snippets from it, but they're, I think, the most important. The whole thing was important. These, I think, are the most important to get out there. Folks, you cannot wage a war as a foreign adversary of the United States, as any country. You cannot wage a war without command, control, and communications. Now, look at those 3 C's. Command. Do they have command? They're all freaking dead. I'm just telling you the obvious. We wiped out their entire hierarchy of upper-level mullah leadership. You're now getting into kind of the mid-level leadership, and they're going to be wiped out soon, too. President Trump even said as much yesterday. They don't have command because the command of the IRGC and elsewhere, their special units, their police forces, are dead. So command, no good. Control. If you don't have command, you certainly don't have control because there's nobody to control because the command is dead. Every time someone steps in to take control after a previous commander stepped in and is wiped out, that person dies too. It is very difficult to maintain command or control without command and no control because you're dead. And the threat of death is on the horizon. When you're worried about dying, you're not so much worried about tactical deployments. Finally, communications. They don't have communications. Folks, I can't go into too many intimate details given kind of the things I was exposed to. However, it is very difficult, and I think this is fairly obvious. You can read about it in open source. It is very difficult for Iranian commanders trying to control their military. You get what I did there, right? If you can't communicate, because every time you communicate, it doesn't really work out. They have none. It has led to total chaos. Now, we're not even a week in yet. Again, I don't want to jump to either side. We're not doing mission accomplished bullshit. All I've asked respectfully, and I mean it, to opponents of the military strikes, I'm not kidding. I respect your opinions. I'm glad we're not a bunch of robots. I've got Sean Davis from the Federalist on later. I love, good friend of mine. Has some different opinions from me, but filibuster, other things, that's fine. That's fine. That's the best part about being a conservative. Is we're not freaking robots like the left. However, all I ask is that if you're going to judge the movie in total, just wait for the movie to end. It's fair to you to, and by the way, maybe you think the beginning of the movie sucked. I saw a movie once about where I forget the movie I went down when I was in Fletzy in Georgia. The first half an hour was terrible. I almost left. And it rescued itself. But I'm free to say it's a good movie, but the first half an hour sucked. You may not like the beginning, that's okay. But if you're going to judge the whole movie, just wait for the movie to end. And we're not even a weekend. This is Secretary of War Hegseth this morning talking about those 3 C's I told you about. Command, control, and communication. And how it's like scripting a football game as the offensive coordinator, basically wiping out the coach and everyone else. Now no one even knows how to get in the huddle anymore. This is a great analogy. Check this out.
We will avenge them. No doubt. But I liken Iran's predicament to a football team who scripted the first 20 plays of a game. The team knew what plays to run because their first few drives were scripted. But now that the game has started and the blitz is on, they don't know what plays to call, let alone how to get in the huddle and call those plays. Iran's senior leaders are dead. The so-called governing council that might have selected a successor, dead. Missing or cowering in bunkers, too terrified to even occupy the same room. Senior generals, mid-level officers, enlisted ranks, they can't talk or communicate, let alone mount a coordinated and sustained offensive. That's not great for morale. The Iranian Air Force is no more, built for 1996, destroyed in 2026. The Iranian Navy rests at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. Combat ineffective, decimated, destroyed, defeated, pick your adjective.
One of many 63 in the chat. Dan, I'm totally anti-war, but some people just need to be blown up. Try to pick the best chats of the day. One of many 63. I'm with you. Everybody's anti-war. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but nobody likes war. Sometimes, unfortunately, in a complicated world full of real evil, demons, and I'm telling you that, folks, evil is real. It is not some, fantasy you read about in some fairy tale in third grade. It is very real. And in a world full of evil, sometimes good men have to step up and stop that stuff by aggression and violence. We wish it weren't the case, but it is. How many people are they gonna kill? How many times are we gonna let them threaten us with a potential nuclear weapon? Do you understand this is one of the things I'd like, and I'm gonna play another clip of Secretary Hegseth in a second, so just, this is a good one too, about what complete control of the skies actually means. Remember, command, control, communications. You're missing one of those three, your war effort's screwed. You're missing all three, you are in real freaking trouble. I'm just telling you, having spent a good year involved in this stuff. Folks, these Iranian mullahs get a nuclear weapon. There's not going to be a negotiation. There's not going to be a negotiation. You know that Netflix movie, the Catherine Bigelow movie about the nuclear strike? It's exaggerated, a lot of it. I get it. However, if you watch the movie, I think it's interesting. It's one of those movies, again, where that's one of those movies where the beginning's great and the ending, I think, was terrible. So you can judge a whole movie, but you still got to wait to the end. Oh, this is awesome. And then it ends, and you're like, what? You know the movie I'm talking about? I don't remember the name. But I saw it in D.C. with Paula. Interesting movie, exaggerated if you understand how the whole system works and everything. But it's about a real nuclear strike.
So guys, that's all for this video. Do let us know your opinion in the comments section and make sure you like, share, and follow us for more such interesting clips.